On October 1st, I received an email from a fan of the channel named Joshua. He was playing an average CK3 game where he managed to form the Kingdom of Croatia underneath the rule of the Byzantine Empire. Then, one day, the emperor had enough of Joshua and decided to revoke his kingdom away, leading to an internal war. Joshua was strong and marched his troops right into the heart of the Byzantine Empire and began sacking Constantinople, slightly surprised by the lack of resistance from the Greeks. Maybe their focus was elsewhere. And then, all of a sudden, his beautiful Croatian kingdom was no more. The Byzantine Empire had been submerged by the Mongol wave, and instead of being vassalized by the Mongolians, he was cast out to some lands he held in northern Poland. This is where I take up Joshua's disastrous save, as Croatian refugees in Poland, hoping to one day reclaim the Kingdom of Croatia and free Joshua's kinsmen from oppressive Mongol rule. Alright everybody, we are in the save file, and oh my goodness, if you take a look slightly east of Europe, you will notice that the Mongol Empire has taken over almost the entire map. And that is exactly like our friend said. The Mongols have kicked him out of his Kingdom of Croatia, which was previously this land here. He did have some land in Poland, although he only has 2 counties now. We're pretty much like Croatian refugees living right in central Poland now. But we are currently in a war, which is interesting. And it looks like we're attacking Sicily, the Kingdom of Sicily, for this one county. We do have quite a lot of military. You can see we have a 14k stack just standing over here. I guess because like you said, you were invading the Byzantine Empire when they got taken over by the Mongols. So we could use this army to fight off Sicily. Other things we could do is, I realized you had some vassals who are in prison.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, so it looks like this character here is in your jail. So we can go ahead and just revoke right away all of these counties as well as this duchy away from them. And that's important because we actually have this duchy building, the archery range. And whenever you have a duchy building, it's great to be able to get it online, which you can see it will redeem next month. But the other thing it does is actually fill out our domains to 7 of 7. And we do have some pretty good, well, I won't go as far to say pretty good, but we do have some pretty decent territories here, at least in this duchy. You can see we have 3 castles that are tier 2. So that means we can go all the way up to tier 4 buildings in them, which is going to be useful. And then we have a bunch of other castles that are tier 1. But you know, since at least the Polish have the technology that lets you upgrade this to tier 2, I think it's hoardings if I'm correct. Or it's battlements. So although you can see the Polish aren't as advanced as the Croatians, they do have battlements, so we can grow our castles to tier 2. But they don't have hoarding, so we couldn't put them all the way up to tier 3. And if I were to take a look at the culture of our character, which is Croatian, you can see we actually do have hoardings as well as 3 other high medieval era techs. We won't really be able to use any of these considering we are living in Polish territory now. So like if I wanted to upgrade, let's say my capital to tier 3, you can see I need the Polish culture to have hoardings, not the Croatian one, because this land is of Polish culture. One thing we could do is actually promote the culture in here. So what this will do is convert this county away from Polish to Croatian, but you can see it will take 10 years to do that. So we'll get started, because if you can get this converted, it would be good to at least have one land where we can have tier 3 castles. If I look at the dynastic legacies, which you have filled out all of law.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
I like this perk here in the law tree because it reduces your building construction costs and holding construction costs by 5%, which is pretty cool. And then this one here is also pretty cool because it gives you +1 domain as well as +5 for your defender advantage. Considering we'll probably only have enough renown to pick up 1 legacy is House of Warriors, because that'll bump our prowess of all of our family members by 2, as well as giving us +15% in terms of our knight effectiveness, which right now is puts it to 144. And the higher this value is, just the better we'll be overall in terms of our military. It looks like we have an ally who we can call into this war, and I think I'm going to do it. Again, this war doesn't really matter, we just don't want to lose it. Oh man, I'm looking at the Mongols right now, and you can see they have over 70,000 units. They have a lot of levies, which are going to be easy to kill, but these special soldiers, I'm pretty sure the bulk of these are more of these horse archer units, which if you watched my last video about playing as a tribal region that had these units, you know that these guys are ridiculously strong. We have to be so wary of fighting these units, especially if we're in plains or steppe land. They will just shred through our army. Oh man, it looks like the Mongols are raising some armies to do something. Oh, they're actually declaring war on Sicily. He honestly might come for our vassals, these guys down here, who are technically part of our realm, but will at least have a decent buffer protecting our Polish refugee lands from them for now, where we can kind of like build up our strength. Uh-oh, our character just became obese, which means it looks like we're near death. Okay, and literally right when I say that, we die. A little bit unfortunate. That does mean that our brother over here got these two territories under his control, these two counties, and it's kind of a bummer because this is one of the places where he had a level 2 castle, which is actually pretty important. Oh my goodness, look at the Mongols now. 66,000 of them right here, raising. Okay, so I'm capturing the war target in this stupid war that we're in, and you can see they're getting a huge bonus because it's been so long that they've held the war target for themselves. But the second we take this, it should switch that all into our favor. And actually now you'll notice that it should start ticking up to our percentage because we're holding the war target. Okay, they're attacking me on this tile. We should get a pretty big victory. Okay, so we hit 100%. We can enforce our demands here. We get this little piece of land, which I mean, I guess we can hold for now. It won't really hurt us in any way, I don't think. But what we have to focus on now is just getting our realm in shape so that we can have enough strength to eventually invade the Kingdom of Croatia. I love that we're playing as a Catholic region because look at this, we can demand gold from the Pope, and right there we just got around 400 gold. I went to have a look at our brother to see if we could revoke this land from him, and it looks like he is not going to be taking that now. What we're going to have to do is just go ahead and run a murder scheme on him. It has a low percentage, but we can use some of that gold we just got in order to bribe some agents. Hopefully we can get this up to something that should probably go through. But you will notice we still have a lot of money, and I think what I'm going to do with this money is start upgrading a lot of the buildings in my realm. Okay, here we go. We were able to bring this up to 80%, so let's see if we can get him killed. Yes, and it looks like we did kill our brother. So now we inherited both those counties that he held, which is really good because we were at like 4 of 9, I think, in terms of our domains, and now we are at 7 of 9, and we have this wonderful tier 2 castle under our control now. I still would like to get our domains up a little bit higher. One thing I plan on doing is, you can see we have 3 years left until advanced bowmaking, and this will actually give us access to the crossbowmen, and you can see they do a ton of damage, 42 as the base. If we compare that to normal bowmen, they only have 25 as the base. So if we have, so having crossbowmen paired with these archery range buildings will be super powerful. Hopefully it'll be powerful enough to hold back the Mongolian horse archers, which you can see have taken the Kingdom of Sicily for themselves. One thing I'm also going to be doing is running murder schemes on the Emperor of Mongolia this entire game. You can see his heir is this 21-year-old who also will probably be a good emperor, but if we can kill him and then kill his heir, eventually you'll be left with kids, and hopefully what that'll mean is an overall decrease in strength. I'm going to go ahead and ask the Pope for some more money. That brings us to 700. So right away, what we can do with that is upgrade one of our castles to tier 2. You can see this one actually finished upgrading, which is really nice. And this one we're upgrading right now. So I'll just go ahead and upgrade this one. Here we go. Let's see if we can kill the... Yes, okay, we did it. So we killed the Great Khan. So you see that doesn't really affect their strength too much. They still have pretty much the same thing. But if we go ahead and run a murder scheme on this character, you can see again it'll just be 95-95 because there are so many characters who want this guy dead. You can see just like owning this much land means that there's so many people trying to kill you at all times. I didn't really talk about our military composition yet, but we have a very wide array of different types of men. This is actually good because it'll stop you from getting countered. One thing I will do, however, is get rid of these light footmen. I find they're just like not that great value for money, and instead I will be picking up a stack of armored horsemen, and hopefully we'll be able to get this to a decent number by the time we're ready to declare war on the Mongols. This might be our only defense against them, just looking at how much damage they do. If we can have a decent size of armored horsemen doing this much damage, we could stand a chance against the Mongols. We also have access, because we're playing as Croatians, we have access to this special unit, this special light cavalry unit, and these guys are not only really strong, as you can see, but they have a crazy amount of pursuit. So if we win a battle with, like, let's say 10 ranks, we should be getting an amazing amount of kills in the pursuit phase after the battle is already won. Okay, here's my murder scheme on the second Mongolian emperor.
The poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison.
And yes, we got him as well. Okay, and since we actually killed 2 Mongolian emperors in a row, you can see this will actually split. It'll actually split it into 4 separate empires. So now instead of fighting all of the Mongolians, we only have to worry about the Ilkhanate. You can see they aren't ridiculously strong. They have a total strength right now of 12,000, which is actually pretty similar to ours. I'm not sure whose jail this guy's in. There might be some exchanging of territory going on between the 4 of these guys, because I think they will have claims on each other. But for right now, we almost would be strong enough to invade them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just got war declared on me, and I didn't even know I had land over here. I might as well try it a little bit to keep it, but I'll surrender at the first sign of danger. Okay, this is interesting. So we have a stack of 6,000 men here coming to attack us on this tile. It says we're gonna win, but I honestly have a hard time believing that. But we are defending in hills, so we'll just have to see how this one goes. Oh man, and we're actually gonna kill them. So I think the major difference maker in this battle is, one, our commander is a lot better than them. We're gonna get a plus 12 from that. We're defending in hills, and we have the controlled territory defender advantage. And all of that adds up just to make us absolutely destroy these guys. So here, this time we're actually defending against a river crossing and in hills, so we should get a pretty big bonus. However, it's 8,000, almost 9,000 against 3,000, so this time we probably would lose, but I do have an army of some more levies coming in, so we'll have to see if that actually helps turn this battle in our favor. And look at that, it should actually do that as well. So if we were able to enforce our demands here, we would get 116 gold, so it will actually help a bit to be able to win. So I think I will turn this war around into 100% and then try to squeeze them for everything they got. So I just asked the Pope for more money and ransom some prisoners from that war, which brings us up to 800 gold now. In this county here, we can construct a temple, and then we should have enough money to build at least 1 castle down here, which will bring our domains up to 8. We also had researched advanced bowmaking, which I missed, so I'm going to go ahead and delete our bowmen and instead pick up these crossbowmen. You can see they're still pretty decently cost effective. 88 gold for a unit that does this much damage is pretty decent. We have converted this county here to our culture, so something we could do now is actually upgrade this castle to tier 3, and we could actually upgrade this other castle to tier 3. However, they are very expensive, so I think I'll work on the rest of my counties first before doing that. And then in just 7 years, we actually will have Castle Bailey's unlocked, meaning we can go to tier 2 archery grounds, which you can see boost our archer damage to 30%. Oh man, I didn't realize this, but we are in an intrigue court, which is good for doing murder schemes, but we don't really need to be doing murder schemes right now. And at least the ones we do have to do on the Ilkhanate Emperor, those should always be really high. So I'm going to switch over to an administrative court, which will reduce the cost of building buildings and actually the speed by a further 10% each. So over here as an example, you can see now we're getting, we had already a 13% decrease in cost, but now we're actually getting a 23%, so that's pretty huge. And as well, you can see we're getting a very, very big discount of 70% to the time it takes to upgrade buildings. So 7 months for tier 3 of military camps is going to be really, really good. I think it's about time we kill this character again, or at least try to. You can see without inviting anybody, it already goes to 85, 95, which should be pretty easy to go through. Oh, And actually, it looks like somebody discovered it, which is a bit of a bummer. We'll have to see. We probably could invite some people to this, but we'll need to make a little bit more money first before doing that. Oof, okay, so I had to spend a lot of gold on this, but I was able to get one more person in on this murder scheme to bring it up to 82.95. So that should go through once it's ready. Also, you can see we finished these 2 other castles that were in my land that we're building. So now we can go ahead to build farms and fields in here because they are both on plains, which is going to be really nice for us. Here we go. Let's see if this murder scheme goes through. Yes, the power of the mob. So we've successfully killed him. We started building 2 farms and fields in these 2 castles, which will help our gold income a lot. And now you can see we have an 11-year-old in charge, which actually brings our military down to under 20,000. So that might just be doable for us. I asked the Pope for more money, so I have enough gold to go to tier 2 archery grounds, which I will go ahead and do. And then I'll also upgrade some of my other buildings. Just getting these military buildings up will help our overall strength. You can see our domain factor is going to increase for all these characters the more we upgrade those buildings. So it looks like the Pope wants to do a little crusade against Sicily. And wait a minute. Oh, it looks like we successfully dismantled the Il Khanate after all the murder schemes we ran on the Emperor. You can see we've broken their empire up into a bunch of kingdoms now. So we have a couple Greek kingdoms, it looks like, who now own Croatia instead. Just goes to show you guys, if you ever think you're stuck, just run a few murder schemes, wait a little bit, and you will be back, no problem. Well, we do have this crusade, which you can see against the Golden Horde now in Sicily. So I think I'll join that because that'll be fun. And we were building up our military this whole time in order to fight the Mongols anyway. So we'll be able to do that here in Sicily. And then after that, I'll start taking land away from these Greek kingdoms in order to get Croatia back. So I started a war with these guys because if we take this land, we can vassalize this person. And that's already 2 pretty big chunks of the Croatian kingdom that we'd have back under our control. I don't think this kingdom is too strong, honestly. It says they only have like 2,000 men and no men at arms. So we shouldn't have too much trouble invading. I think I only am 1 county away from picking up the war target in this war. So at least after that. Oh, what the heck? Why am I getting attacked here? Wow, so we actually dominated those guys even though we had like half as many men. I think I'm actually going to double dip and send my units over to start taking some land in this crusade just so I can get like my get a little piece of this war chest, as you can see. There you go. Already we'll be making some decent money. Oh, okay, and we have won the crusade already. And I think we got like 400 gold from that, which is actually quite decent. The only problem is we will have to fight off these guys trying to get their independence from this king so we can win this this Croatian duchy back. I'm upgrading both my castles, which were the newly built castles, in order to get more better hamlet buildings, because those will really help keep our gold income high, because we will need a high gold income in order to support this pretty heavy military we have.
Nani?
Oh man, what happened here? So I just won a huge battle, 6,000 against 9,000, with these guys trying to get their independence. And then the king who we're fighting against finally actually brought an army in, and he's going to catch me totally unaware, which is pretty brutal. As you can see, we're completely going to get destroyed because he has 20,000 men. So I'm going to try to fight them on this tile. It's going to be close, I think. It's predicting a win, but I'm not too sure if that's actually going to happen. Oh my goodness, look at the advantage modifier though. Holy crap. The fact that we took this tile before and it's counting as our tile is definitely helping in this war. Okay, so we just hit 100%. We can enforce our demands. We're in a bit of debt, but that should replenish pretty quickly. And now we have our first piece. Well, not our first piece, but we have a big chunk of the Croatian kingdom back under our control. What this should do is let me vassalize this person, I think? No. Okay, I'm bankrupt. Once I get out of this debt, I'll be able to vassalize that character. So now that we're taking land in Croatia, we'll also have to think about what land we want to hold. I assume you were holding the capital, which is a very nice tier 3 castle with like beautifully upgraded buildings down here, as well as the officers' academies, which is the tier 2 military academy, which I think is an amazing building. Look, it gives you plus 50% knight effectiveness. So I think we'll try to hold this this duchy personally. And then We could honestly just keep our Polish territories just because I spent so much time upgrading them. They're kind of like a powerhouse now. But we'll have to think about what, at least what I do know is I will grant away these lands here. There's only one tier 2 castle, which is okay, but not amazing. So we can grant this away to, I don't know, maybe my grandson. He looks like a great character. Okay, so I just asked the Pope for more gold, as you can see. So now what that does is should let us offer vassalage to this character, and they will accept. Boom. So that's another pretty big piece of Croatia we just got. I'm going to go ahead and declare another war on this same kingdom we did before, just because they're really weak right now. So let's take advantage of that. So over here, I'm sacking the capital of the kingdom we're at war with. This should bring our war score up a pretty good amount. So I literally am at 98. I'm so close to being able to win this war. And then he comes in with his army finally and is going to attack me on this tile. It says I'm actually going to lose, but I have a really hard time believing that, considering they only have 2 champions in their military. It says they have a better commander with better traits, but their commander is 28 and ours is 26. So it's not like it's that much of a difference. We'll have to see what happens when they come on this tile, but also we're defending across this little river crossing, as you can see, and we control this territory, so we're getting control territory defender advantage from that, which is just going to turn this into our favor, even though we have half as many men. The fact that this army is pretty much all men at arms also doesn't hurt. And there you go. So you can see we only lost 350 men and we killed over 4,000. So there we go. We enforce our demands and we've connected our Croatian lands. And you can see we're just missing this much now to fully rehold the Kingdom of Croatia. So next on the chopping block is this Greek kingdom. You can see they have a decent military strength. And we're going to declare war for, I guess, for this duchy first, just to get us the most land. Okay, I'm invading here, and you can see they brought pretty much their entire military in. So what I'm going to have to do is raise my whole military. We'll see. It looks like he's not going to try to attack us here, which is good. Okay, actually, he started invading my small county I have in the south here. And because of that, we can attack him on this tile, and we should get very nice bonuses from defending. So let's see what happens. As everyone rushes in here, look at this beautiful advantage modifier. You love to see that. And yeah, we should get a very nice victory on him there. Here, normally I wouldn't like to attack them in hills when they're defending, but you can see they're starving actually, so we should get a pretty big win on them, even though they will get defender bonuses. There you go. So it brings us up to 80%, and we get a few stack wipes, as you can see. Oh, okay, so we ended up dying right in the middle of a bunch of crazy stuff. So the good thing is we only lost one county to what looks like my uncle, and it's this county down here where we did invest a little bit into, but honestly there's only a castle and a city there, so I don't really mind losing that. At least we kept all these other really good castles for ourselves. Oof, right there you see I just took this last piece of land so we can enforce our demands. Very nice. So now we have another great chunk of Croatia. So Bohemia is weak. They just lost a war against Poland. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just declare another war on them for this duchy like we talked about. I'm going to be the commander, and I'm a pretty decent commander, so I'm going to get a lot of fame from these battles.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so he brought in his whole army. Very, very interesting. No way would we have won this without even raising all of our men. That is so crazy. So in a battle where we had like 4,000, maybe 5,000 men, we beat 13,000. I am going to be wary of raising a lot of these levies though, as you can see, just because it costs a lot to keep them raised. We only lose around 10 gold if we have an army of just our men at arms with a few levies. But any more than that, we will just be going into massive debt. Boom, and we actually beat them back again, this time 4,500 against 10,000. We win, we can enforce our demands. We now have all the northern part of Croatia secured. We just have 2 more duchies to wrestle away from this Greek kingdom, who looks like is taking massive damages from a few wars of their own. This time I will be going where the capital of the Croatian kingdom is. And honestly, I don't think we'll have too much problem. You can see he only has like 5,000 men, so we'll do a local army. Okay, here I'm going to attack them. I should get a stack wipe, and I do. And that brings us up to 97%. And then right there, it'll tick to 100 because we took the whole war target. And now we are only missing one more piece of Croatia to have reformed the entire kingdom. I just revoked the title from this character. So now you can see we have this beautiful county here, which has the tier 3 castle, all the beautifully upgraded buildings, and the tier 2 officers academy. I do hold this duchy too, so now I think I'm holding 2 duchies. My one in Poland here, which has all of these beautiful counties, and then of course this duchy right down here. These castles are pretty decent, so you know, I'm going to be holding this personally just because, like we said, we can't be a Croatian kingdom without holding the capital of the kingdom. And it does bring me a little bit above my domain limit, but if I put my wife onto managed domain, that'll actually put us to 13 of 11. And I think the other thing I'm going to do is just grant away some secondary castles here that I don't need, like that one, which will get me to 12. I'm just going to go to a domain focus just so I can hold 12 of 12. It should make our military super strong, as you can see. And now that these castles have just went into our control, even though they're still not at full control, as you can see, we are going to be making almost 40 gold per month and replenishing to 22,000 men. I think that's the perfect time for us to declare war on the final piece of Croatia, which we need. The people we declared on do have allies who are pretty strong. You saw there, their total military strength is going to be around 15,000, but honestly, I am not worried at all. Even though we have way less men, you should see a pretty big victory for us because we're defending in mountains. Our men-at-arms units are so strong. Let's take a look at some of them. Oh, our armored horsemen aren't even going to be doing damage because we're in mountains. I forgot about that. But look at our crossbowmen. They do 74 damage, and we have, I think, 800 of them. Boom, so there you go. We killed 10 times the amount of men that we lost there. Oh shit. Oh man, that was a close battle. I had to raise all my men, as you could see there, but we were just able to squeak them into that battle in time to not take an L. Okay, here they come for one final battle on the capital. They're going to try to stop me from invading. They have more men than us, but only by a little bit. They will also be defending in mountains, which will be pretty huge for them. Oh, but look at that. We're still able to turn it around. Jeez, and we completely dominated them there as well. Okay, you can see they're coming back again. I'm going to do something cheeky. I'm actually going to use this assault fort button, which will kill a lot more of my men per day. You're going to see this number drop really quick, but it should make this... You see, if I were to stop assaulting, it would take 45 days, but with the assault button click, it would only take 15. So there you go. I knew that would bring us up to 100. We can now enforce our demands, disband all our armies, and we have done it, guys. We have completely retaken the Kingdom of Croatia. I think what we have to do is move our capital down here to put the final bow on this video of us reclaiming the Croatian kingdom from the Mongols. This was a lot of fun to film. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Remember, you can always send me your disaster files to zieleysubmissions@gmail.com. The link, as always, will be in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.